Hey, welcome to the second part of the lesson on a sample paper. Let's get started. A piece of land is to be divided into 20 acres or 24 or 28 acres for farming and leave 7 acres for grazing. Determine the smallest size of such land. So to determine the smallest size of such land, we shall start by getting the least common multiple of 20, 24 and 28. So let's get the least common multiple of these. So 20, 24 and 28. So we start by dividing everything by 2. This is 10, 12, 14 by 2, 5, 6, 7 by 2 again. This will be 3, 7, then by 3, going to be 5, this is 1, 7, then by 5, 1, 1, 7, and lastly by 7 we get 1. So therefore, the least common multiple will be given by, this is 2 cubed, which is 8, multiplied by 3, multiplied by 5, multiplied by 7. So when you work out these, this will be 8 times 15 times 7, we get 840. So that is the least common multiple. Now, the next thing we're going to do, since we have been given that 7 acres will be left, there will be a remainder of 7 acres for grazing. After getting the least common multiple, we shall now get 840. We add the remainder, this will be 847 acres, and this represents now the smallest size of such land. So that is how we're supposed to work out. Part A, find the inverse of the matrix. Part B, hence determine the point of intersection of the lines x plus y is equals 7 and 3x plus y is equals to 15. So let's go to the first part, which is the inverse of the matrix. So you're required to find the inverse of this matrix. So the inverse will be obtained first by getting the determinant. So we get the determinant. We obtain the determinant by subtracting the product of this diagonal, that is 1 times 1, subtract the product of the other diagonal, that is 1 times 3. This gives 1 minus 3, which gives negative 2. So that is the determinant, the first step, getting the inverse. The second step is getting, now to get the inverse, you get the inverse of negative 2, which is 1 over negative 2. Then from there, we interchange these matrix, the values of this matrix, in order to get 1 minus 1, then negative 3 and 1. So after multiplying, we can leave our inverse in this form, or we can multiply everything in the bracket by negative 1 over negative half to get negative 1 over 2, 1 over 2, 3 over 2, negative 1 over 2. So these are possible solutions, either these or these. So that is first thing, just to remind ourselves on how we have interchanged the values in this part. Is this part that is here. If you are given any matrix A, B, C, and D, and you're supposed to get the inverse of this matrix, the first thing is to get the determinant. which is A times D, subtract B times C. So this gives AD minus BC. Then to get the inverse, we get 1 divided by, this is AD minus BC. Then these values, this is how we interchange them. So it would be D minus B, then minus C and A. So that is how we have obtained the inverse. This is just a reminder on how we get the inverse. Now that is the first part. The second part of the question is determining the point of intersection of the lines. Now getting the point of intersections of those lines is simply getting the values of x and y. So we get the value of x and y, but in this case we're using the matrix method to do that. So when you get the value of x and y, we are going to write them in coordinate form, and that will be the point of intersection. So in simple terms, we are supposed to solve this simultaneous equation using the matrix method. So let's begin part B. So part B, so x plus y is equals to 7 and 3x, this is 3x plus y is equals to 15. So that is the equation. These are the equations. So we will need to extract first the matrices. Look at the first thing, is supposed to ensure that the x's and y's are matching. This is x, this column is x, 3x, y, and y. Ensure that they are matching such a way that you don't have x maybe and y on one column. So when you've done that, we pick the coefficients of x. The coefficient here of x is 1, here is 3. Coefficient of y here is 1, here is 1. So we multiply that by x, y, and we're supposed to get 7, 15. Now to solve this, we need to get the inverse of this matrix, of which we have obtained in the first part. So we have the inverse. So to solve, we need to pre-multiply both sides of the equation by the inverse of this matrix, and the inverse of that matrix is what we've just obtained. We have obtained that. This is 1 over negative 2. This was 1 negative 3. Copy here, because this is negative 1 1. Negative 1 1. So multiply. This is how we pre-multiply. That is 1 3 1 1. When we have x, y is there, so we multiply again this side. This is 1 negative 3 negative 1 1, and then we have 7 15. Now you notice when you multiply this side, this will give an identity matrix. That is what you'll get. You get an identity matrix is 1 0 0 1. Then you have x, y. Then when you multiply this matrix here, you will obtain this is negative 1. This is 1. Sorry. Is 1 over negative 2. When you multiply this row 1 column, this is first row, first column, second row, second column. So when you multiply first row and first column, this will give 1 times 7, which is 7. negative 1 times 15, this will be negative 15. Then you have negative 3 times 7, that is row 2 column 1, this will be negative 21. Then 1 times 15 plus 15, so this gives 1 over negative 2. 7 minus 15, this is negative 8. Then negative 21 plus 15, this gives negative 6. Remember, when you multiply x and y by an identity matrix, the identity matrix does not change anything, so here you remain with x, y. So you get x, y is equals to, multiply everything by 1 over negative half, you get 4, 3. Therefore, at this point, x is given by 4, y is given by 3. So the point of intersection, therefore, be given by, write this in coordinate form, 4, negative, this is a 3, I'm sorry, this is 3. 4, 3, where 4 is the x value and y value is 3. So that is the point of intersection. That is how we're supposed to do that question. The table below shows height of 50 students. The table is there with height, centimeter, and frequency. The classes are given. The first question, part A, state the model class. So the model class is the class with the highest frequency. This one, when you look at the table, the class with the highest frequency is this class, 150 to 154. That is the model class, and it's the one that has the highest frequency of 19. Part B, calculate the median height. Now, to calculate the height, the median height of this group data, we need to use a formula. And the formula of getting the median is given by L1 plus n over 2 minus CF divided by F, everything here, multiplied by I, where L1 is the lower class limit of the median class. N is the total frequency. Then CF is the cumulative frequency above the median class. Then F is the frequency of the median class. Then I is the class size. Now these are the things we need to identify in order to come up with the median. So the first thing will be to obtain the median class. The median class will be obtained by getting the total frequency. When you add everything here, the summation of frequency, we can get the cumulative frequency here. This will help us to get the total frequency. We have 3, this is 18, this is 37, then 48 and 50. So total frequency is 50. So therefore the median class will be obtained by a half the position. That the position of the median class will be a half times the 50th. So these will be found in the 25th position. That is why we'll get the median class. Now we go to the table, we identify which is this 25th position from the cumulative frequency column that we have just written here. We have 3, 18, 37, 48, 50. So the 25th position is somewhere in this class. So this class 150 to 54. That is where we'll have the 25th position. So the median class is therefore 150 to 154. So in the formula, we can now identify the lower class limit of the median class, and if this is the median class, the lower class limit will be given by 149.5, since the upper class limit is 154.5. Then total frequency, we obtain total frequency is 50. Then cumulative frequency above the median class, having 150 to 154 as the median class, the cumulative frequency above that class is 18, since our class is 150 to 154. So the cumulative frequency above that class is 18. So CF is equals to 18. Frequency of the median class. Frequency of the median class. This is a median class. The frequency is 19. The class size, we can get the class size since the class size is uniform. We can just use the median class to get that. Median class given by 154.5. I'm sorry. So 154.5 subtract 149.5. This gives 5. So the class size is 5. I think we have obtained everything now. We can now get the median. So the median will therefore be obtained by 149.5 plus, this is 50 divided by 2, subtract 18, everything divided by 19, we multiply this by 5. So we work out this 149.5 plus, this is 25, subtract 18, divide by 19, multiply by 5. So this gives 149.5 plus 25, this is a 7 over 19 times 5. So working out this using the calculator, you obtain this will be 151.34 as the median. That is how we're supposed to work out that question. The exterior angle of a regular polygon is equal to 1/3 of the interior angle. Calculate the number of sides of the polygon and give its name. So the first thing is to sketch, whereby this will be the interior angle is x degrees, then the exterior angle will be 1/3 of the interior angle, which is that x degrees. Now, since these two angles lie on the straight line, the sum of the exterior angle and the interior angle will give 180 degrees. So you can get the interior angle here. X plus a third x, this will give 4/3 x degrees, which gives 180 degrees. Therefore, x will be obtained by 3 divided by 4, which will give 135 degrees. So if this is 135 degrees, then the exterior angle will be given by 180 subtract 135 degrees, which will be 45 degrees, since these two angles lie on the straight line, and the sum should be 180 degrees. Now required to get the number of sides of this polygon. So number of sides of a regular polygon is given by 360 divided by the exterior angle, and in this case we have 360, the exterior angle is 45 degrees. So when we divide these, we get this is a polygon of 8 sides, and the name of a regular polygon with 8 sides is known as an octagon. This is an octagon. Use logarithm tables in all your steps to evaluate, leaving your answer to 4 decimal places. So we shall begin by drawing some columns. We're going to have some columns here. So these are the columns. The first column shall have number. This is for standard form. This one is for the log. So the first number is 38.32. So writing the number in standard form is 3.832 multiplied by 10 raised to power 1. The second number we're multiplying with is 2.964. This one in standard form will be 2.964 times 10 raised to power 0. Now let's go to the logs. So that 8.32, the log of 10 raised to power 1 is 1. The log of 3.832 be given by, from the mathematical tables, 5834. This is a 5834. Logarithm of 10 raised to power 0 is 0. Logarithm of 2.964 given by 4719 from the table, 4719. Now since we are multiplying the two numbers, 38.32 and 2.964, we add their logs. So adding their logs, we get, this is a 3, this is 5, this will be 5, then this one will be 0, and this will be 2. Now let's go to the denominator. We have 6.285. So writing the number in standard form, 6.285 multiplied by 10 raised to power 0. So logarithm of 10 raised to power 0 is 0. Logarithm of 6.285 from mathematical table, that will give 0.7. This is 7983. Since we are dividing, we subtract these logs. When you subtract, we get that is 0, that is 7, that is 7, this is 5, this is 2, and this is 1. So this is now the figure that you get after multiplying the numerator and dividing by the denominator. One thing is remaining, the cube root. When you're getting the cube root of this number 1.2570, we divide by 3. That is how we obtain the cube root. So dividing the number, this logarithm, by 3 means getting the cube root of that number, and this gives 0.4190. Now we are done with multiplying and dividing and obtaining the cube root. So the final thing is obtaining the antilog of this 0.4190. that will give now the final solution. So the antilog of 0 is 10 raised to the power 0. The antilog of this decimal part, 0.4190, this will give 2.6240. So multiplying these, the solution to 4 decimal places will be 2.6240. That is how we are supposed to work out that question. Determine the equation of a line passing through point -1,3 and parallel to the line whose equation is 3x minus 5 is equals to 10. So one important thing to note before we begin the question is that parallel lines have equal gradients. For example, in this question we have two lines. So the gradient of this line is 3x minus 5y is equals to 10. To obtain the gradient, we have to write this equation in the form y is equals to mx plus c. So we write it, so minus 5y is equals to 10 minus 3x. So y, therefore, you can reorganize these. So it will be 3 over 5x minus 2. So that is the equation written in form of y is equals to mx plus c. Therefore, gradient of this line is equals to 3 over 5. And since the other line is parallel to this, it will have the same gradient. So m2, the gradient of the other line, will be the same. So 3 over 5. Now the other line is passing through, so the gradient m2 will be this is 3 over 5. So 3 over 5, and it's passing through point -1,3. -1,3. So we need to get the equation of that line. So to get the equation of that line in the form y is equals to mx plus c, we shall use these 2 points. So -1 will be the x coordinate, then 3 will be the y coordinate. So we substitute these values, gradient and x and y, in this equation. We get, so this will be 3y is 3, gradient is 3 over 5, x is -1, and then c is what we are looking for. So this will give 3 is equals to -3 over 5 plus c. So from this, c will be obtained by 3 plus 3 over 5, which will be 3 and 3 over 5, or you can write it as 18 over 5. So therefore, the equation of that line, the form y is equals to mx plus c, will be y is equals to 3 over 5x plus 18 over 5. A regular octagon has an area of 101.8 centimeters squared. Calculate the length of one side of the octagon. So the first thing will be to sketch the octagon, and here is the octagon with the 8 sides. We can label this side, this X, and this one you can label it as X. We label this one as this side. This is now the side that you are calculating as Y. So one important thing, you can see we have octagon subdivided into equal triangles, which are 8. There are 8 triangles. So if the area of the whole octagon is 101.8, therefore area of one triangle is given by 101.8 divided by 8, and this gives 12.725 is 25 centimeters squared. So this is the area of one triangle. Now from there, you can see the size of this angle. Each of these angles here is 45. The angles of the center here, 45. Now we obtain the sizes of those angles by taking 360 degrees divided by 8, because there are 8 angles. That is how we obtain this angle is 45 degrees. Now the next step, we want to get the length of one side, which is Y. So we can extract one triangle, and this is the length we want to get. This is X and this is X, and then this angle is 45 degrees. So to get the area of this triangle, we use this formula, a half x squared sine of theta. That is how we obtain the area of that triangle. So we can proceed and get the area which is a half multiplied by x squared multiplied by sine of theta, which is this angle, which is 45 degrees. This gives an area of that triangle, which is 12.725. So by this we can obtain the value of x. So working out these, and you work it using the calculator. I will skip this step since you're going to use the calculator most of this time. So you get the value of x. So x will be obtained by, so you can x squared, you multiply both sides by 2, you get 2 times 12.725. That is what you get. Then you divide this by sine of 45 degrees. So to obtain the value of x, you have to get the square root of everything, which is 2 times 12.725, everything divided by sine of 45 degrees. So this gives the value of x is 5.999 centimeter. So this is the side. So this side is 5.999, and the other one again is the same. So after obtaining that, we need to get the length of the side. So remember the triangle. If we extract that triangle now, that is the triangle. We have this side is y. This is side y. I'm dividing that triangle. When you divide it exactly at the middle there, this is what you'll get. So then this side is the one we obtained as 5.99, and then since you are dividing this angle by 2, this will be 22.5. Since it's 45 divided by 2, it is this angle that is here. Now using this, we can obtain this length, which is y, and it will be half. This will be half the distance, so we have to multiply it by 2 when you get the solution. So we proceed. We use trigonometric ratios. So this one will give sine of 22.5 is equals to opposite over the hypotenuse, which is 5.999. So in this case, y will be given by 5.999 sine multiplied by sine of 22.5 degrees. And when you work out this gives 4.5. This will give 5.592. This will be 4.592 centimeter. So that is this length. Now you notice that I have already multiplied by 2. So I think this is not the solution that you'll get after working it out, since you have to multiply it by 2. You have to multiply it by 2. And the reason you're multiplying it by 2, the whole of this, is because when you divide this triangle, this is the side that you obtain. You obtain this one as 2.296. So this will give 2.296. This one will give 2.296. That is why I've multiplied by 2 to get the whole of this side. And this is what you get after you multiply. So to make it clear, when you work out these in brackets, you get 2.2. This is 2.296. Then you multiply it by 2, and that is when you end up with 4.592 centimeter, and this is the length of one side of the octagon. So that is how you're supposed to work out that question.
He will make you strong. He'll guide you and protect you.
Find the scalars m and n such that m into 4,3 plus n into negative 3,2 is equals to 5,8. So to do, we multiply everything here by the scalars inside the brackets. M times 4, get 4m. N times negative 3, negative 3n is equals to 5. Down here, 3 times m is 3m. N times 2 plus 2n is equals to 8. Now these are simultaneous equations, so we can use any suitable method to solve them, substitution or elimination. So let's use elimination. Eliminate n, so I multiply this by 2, this by 3. The reason I'm doing so that this one may be uniform. 3 times 2, 6n. 3 times 2, again 6n. I want to eliminate n. So multiplying everything here, the first equation by 2, we get 8m minus 6n is equals to 10. Multiplying the second equation by 3, everything by 3, get 9m plus 6n is equals to 24. So now we can, to eliminate n, we add the equations. So negative 6n plus 6n be 0. So 8 plus 9 is 17m. This will be 0. We have eliminated n, to give 34. So m therefore be given by 2. So now to get n, we can use the equation 1. This is equation 1. We can use equation 1. Substitute 4m minus 3n is equals to 5. So we substitute when m is equals to 2. So this will give 8. We substitute 4 times 2 minus 3n is equals to 5. So This will give, when you take this one to this side and this one to this side, you get 3n is equals to, so this will be, if you take these 5 to this side, 8 minus 5, it will give 3. So n therefore is equals to 1. So that is how you work it out.
Search for him and practice what is right. You promised him